right, we're getting ready to go from the garden. Everything on this tray was grown in my garden. Okay. All right, today I'm gonna make some tomato sauce, and everything on the tray was grown in the garden. So we have a variety of tomatoes, some onions, some garlic, and some basil. So we are going from the garden to the oven. Let's go. There it is in the oven. And I have it on 350 and I'm gonna leave it in there roasting for an hour. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. You know, everything's all nice and soft. And this is where I put it in a pot and then put it in the immersion blender, blend it up, and then I proceed to cook it over low heat for a couple of hours. I got started and then I realized that I needed to film this. So I took the tomatoes out of the oven. They had been roasting for an hour. And what I do next is I go with my immersion blender and just blend it up. Get it all nice and blended. I like to cook my sauce down and make it into a nice thick sauce. I put it on the stovetop and it's slow. I let it just simmer and I continue to thicken it up, add olive oil until it gets to the consistency that I like. All right, I'll check back later. I'll probably have maybe like 1 jar or maybe 2 jars of sauce that will come from this. All right, guys, this is the second way that I am utilizing my tomato harvest. I am going to dehydrate these tomatoes, and once I dehydrate them, I will turn them into a tomato powder, and I will also pack some in oil and store it that way. So I've roasted them to make a tomato sauce. I'm currently in the process of dehydrating them for powder and some oil-packed tomatoes. All right, I'll come back when I'm finished. Okay, I ended up with 4 trays of tomatoes, and these are plum and cherry tomatoes. And on this top layer, I sprinkled a little bit of seasoning on them. Okay, this is what I put on them, on this top layer, just to see how it will taste. And also, I decided to add, these are the skins from the garlic and the onions that I used. So I figure I'm just gonna dehydrate this and then break this down into a powder. All right. I'll come back when I am done to show you the end results. All right, these are the tomatoes. As they were drying, of course they shrunk, so I condensed them and put them on to 2 trays. I started out with 4, but I ended up with 2. And I'm just going to put them in this jar and then get some more dried. All right, that's what we're doing. All right, guys, the tomatoes are done. The majority of them I ended up using for the sun-dried tomatoes. And I had just like a handful left. So I'm just going to be creating a powder. And I'll just slowly build on it over the season as I continue to dry the tomatoes. But this is what I have here today. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the dried ones, and I'm gonna put this in the NutriBullet and powder it up. There's some garlic pieces from where I had the onions and garlic at the top. Like it leaves like a yellow stain on it. You can hear how crispy and how dry they are. All right, I'm going to put the okay, and now we're gonna, this is what I have. So it's a, you know, not that much at all. But again, it'll be a building process over the season. I'm gonna dry some more tomatoes or dehydrate some more tomatoes tonight. So this will just be something that I will be working on throughout the season. So that's what I ended up with, okay? I can never, okay, there. Here are the tomatoes that I dehydrated and packed in oil. I added in some, I don't know if you can see it, like some basil. There's some basil in there. I have some hot peppers that I put in there and some garlic. So that's how I have chosen to do my tomatoes packed in oil. And these are some of the tomatoes that I just air packed. I don't believe that's right. I don't think it's air packed, but I just dehydrated them and put them in this jar. I like my snacks salty and crunchy, preferably sour cream and onion Lay's potato chips, but this is much healthier and less fattening than the potato chips. So yeah, this is the one way, the two ways, and the third way. So that's my little trio of preserving the tomatoes. All right guys, that's how I'm using my tomatoes this growing season. Please share with me and let me know what you're doing, how you are preserving your tomatoes. You know, if you're just eating them fresh. I'd love some additional recipes on how to enjoy them fresh versus, you know, in a sauce or in a preserved way. So yeah, give me your suggestions and your comments, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend with me in the kitchen. Bye guys.